violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
A Channel 2 exclusive. We've gone out with local activist Bruce Griggs multiple times over the past few months as he worked to stop teen violence. New tonight, he says he was fired from his job as a Fulton County juvenile probation officer. They're accusing him of servicing the community while on the county's dime. Tonight, he spoke exclusively to Channel 2's Ashley Lincoln. She joins us now live tonight. Ashley, he says that's all not true, but he's turning this now into a new mission.
Wow, so that's crazy. He was a PO, and he's trying to get more active in the community, passing out flyers, talking to people. Maybe he's doing it on the clock. Okay, so that might be an issue. But it looks like his heart is in the right place from what I'm seeing. Now, I don't know the specifics, but it appears his heart is in the right place.
That's right, Justin. I mean, he is truly passionate about what he does. And you can imagine, he says he was heartbroken when he got the news that he would no longer be a probation officer here at Fulton County Juvenile Justice Center. But now he says he's turning that negative into a positive, dedicating his time full time to make sure Atlanta youth avoid a life of crime.
Felt like a dump truck hit me.
That's what Bruce Griggs says it felt like after receiving this letter notifying him of his termination as a juvenile probation officer with Fulton County Juvenile Court.
I was hurt. I was disappointed. I was angry.
He says he was told he was fired after being accused of doing this interview with Channel 2 last March on county time. Back then, we followed Griggs on the evening of March 8th. He canvassed a Southwest Atlanta neighborhood, handing out flyers for information after a teen was killed near the Atlanta Fair.
Dang, and we did that story where that I believe he was a African brother. He was 15 or 16. He was killed at the fair after a fight went down, and allegedly he was not involved in the fight. Okay, so man, it's tough. It was Joshua Adetunji. So if you guys want to go back and check that video out, it's Joshua Adetunji. Okay, but that was the guy who the young man who was killed at the fair. And now this brother is going out there and trying to spread awareness and make sure that you know, he can get as many of these people off the streets so they don't turn into super gremlin on demon time.
Got a killing down here Saturday.
Griggs denies double dipping as an activist and county probation officer. I reached out to the Fulton County Juvenile Court for a comment, and they have not responded. But instead of legal retaliation, Griggs says he's turning that energy into purpose.
Resolution came after prayer. There's an urgent need for help. I don't have time to concentrate on what happened at juvenile court.
Griggs, who is also a retired Atlanta police officer, has been intervening in the lives of delinquent juveniles for more than 20 years through his nonprofit, Operation Correct Start.
There's an urgent need for help.
We have just a state of emergency.
With recent headlines of teens pulling out weapons on the Atlanta.
And we did that video on the young super gremlins who shot up the Waffle House, almost shot up the Beltline. So it's getting real, man. And I was on the Beltline just this weekend, and there was an eerie vibe, okay? And this is not the first incident on the Beltline. Remember, there was a glider who was killed on the Atlanta Beltline. I believe his name was Thomas Arnold. He was a 50 or 60-year-old man. So Atlanta is not playing right now.
And a Beltline and shootings.
We got some work to do when it comes to our people, especially this black on black crime.
Okay. So he says some real stuff. I wonder if they're going to call him a sellout too.
To do when it comes to our people, especially this black on black crime.
Griggs is giving new life into his Saving Our Sons initiative.
Our goal is to work with at least 10 metropolitan counties.
He says he's in the process of connecting with local law enforcement agencies for crime prevention programs for preteens.
We tired of talking. We ain't gonna do no marching. We gonna get out here and hit these streets and work with these kids.
That's real. He said that marching don't work. No justice, no peace. He said it's over with. We not finna do all that. It don't work. All it does is give these super gremlins an excuse to run up in black businesses and tear it up. So he's like, nah, we finna get in these kids' faces. And hopefully, you know, he's doing it safely, armed. Because these young super gremlins will definitely put a bullet in you if you're trying to do the right thing.
It was a real blessing for my son.
I spoke with Takesha Roan over the phone, whose son received mentorship under Griggs' leadership after being in and out of the juvenile court system.
My son seen a lot of stuff, but in that process, Mr. Griggs helped my son through that.
Griggs says they've created this GoFundMe page to garner donations to prepare for anticipated increased crime as the summer approaches.
It's hot. That's when kids get bored. This is a new generation. All we're trying to do is keep them alive and free.
Ashley Lincoln back with us now live tonight. Ashley, crime has been on the rise, and you were telling us we're seeing juvenile crime go up along with it.
That's right, Justin. Very startling numbers. We were able to look at numbers from the Gun Violence Archive. They are a national organization that tracks gun violence across the country, and here in Georgia, those numbers show that more teens are being involved as victims of gun violence and also participants of gun violence. So programs like these are critically important in getting those numbers down, Justin.
Yeah, we've highlighted several groups here just in the past couple of weeks trying to stop teen violence, but not an easy problem to fix. Thank you, Ashley.
Bond is now increased to $2 million for the man accused of killing his girlfriend's 16-year-old daughter Friday. Van Brisbane is charged in the death of Nimitz High School sophomore Lauren Juma. And tonight, we're learning more disturbing details about the crime following Brisbane's court appearance today.
Wow, so she called for one, but I do want to update you guys on, oh man, this gruesome killing of this young girl by her mama's boyfriend, which you women got to stop bringing in random dudes into the cribbo. But I digress. Okay, I don't want to victim blame or seem like I'm victim blaming here, but I'll tell you what, man. This situation is very frightening because this is an older guy. He's 62 years old. And he's still acting like he's in his teens. And like on the block and the hood mentality and all this stuff. It's crazy. And obviously, like I called it in the last video, I think that he was trying to take it to a sexual level with this young girl and she refused. And then he devolved into a super gremlin on Demon Time.
Aniele Ruiz is here to walk us through what happened. Aniele, we understand there could even be some changes to his charges.
That's right. It all depends on the evidence that investigators gather. But we do know that so far, as of today, his bond was increased from $1 million to $2 million. It was an emotional hearing for family members of 16-year-old Lauren Juma and also for family members of her alleged killer. Monday morning was 60-year-old Van Brisbane's first court appearance after he was charged with murdering Lauren.
I love my uncle to death. I swear I do. But I will never be able to understand how he did something like this to Lauren.
And I know there's mixed feelings. She says she loved her uncle to death. And it to me, it just seems like this guy, he completely snapped. This probably wasn't his first time, exemplifying predatory behaviors. And it looks like that he really was trying to push himself upon this young girl. And he probably was an offender before, maybe not registered, but I don't think you just wake up one day and, start trying to smash kids.
It was Brisbane's niece. She was wailing inside the courtroom during his hearing, and a bailiff had to ask her to step outside. But the details of this case were very graphic to hear. Prosecutors said on Friday Juma was found dead with her clothes in disarray. They go on to say that Brisbane was seen pulling up and adjusting his pants while coming out of their home after 2 shots were heard.
Wow. That's crazy. They seen him pulling up his pants, which we usually don't see super gremlins do. We usually see him sagging. So you know what he was doing with that girl, or trying to do.
Investigators say Lauren was on the phone with her mom and her sister prior to her death, and said she woke up to Brisbane standing in the dark room acting weird. Prosecutors asking for a higher bond amount.
Asked for $2 million. And judge granted it.
One thing his family made very clear, even though they're his blood relatives, they're supporting Lauren and her family.
People have to be accountable for their actions. If we don't hold people accountable for the things that they do wrong, then people will continue to do wrong.
His niece.
I mean, shout out to the niece, man. I know it's very emotional, but at least she's not one of them family members. Oh, he ain't do nothing. Free him. You know? So that's good.
Had this shirt made that says "Here for Lauren," and she doesn't know how this could have happened.
How he could take her life from her, I can never understand it.
Just a very emotional hearing, as you can imagine. Now, the judge did ask prosecutors to rush the forensic evidence to see if Lauren was sexually assaulted. And if she was, there could be potentially some changes in the charges, and he could be charged with capital murder. But again, this will all be up to the Harris County District Attorney's Office to see if they can even prove this. Now, by the way, we did contact the Harris County Sheriff's Office, and they told me that when he was arrested on Friday, he did show signs of intoxication. Reporting live in the...
Wow. This man was sick, bruh.
Harris County Courthouse. Anayeli Ruiz, KHOU 11 News.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting
just took place. Excuse me. I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo! Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Well, new video shows a mob attack in Midtown. It happened early Saturday morning on 8th Avenue. Police say a 36-year-old man got into an argument with 3 people and was soon...
Jesus. Yo, imagine if you seen that many super gremlins coming up at you, mobbing, stomping like, oh man, all over an argument. And I wanted to bounce around here in different cities just to show you guys what's going on. This is everywhere, man. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Police say a 36-year-old man got into an argument with 3 people and was soon attacked by a large group. They punched and kicked the man, threw a garbage can at him, and then stabbed him 3 times in the shoulder and back. The suspect stole his cell phone and sunglasses and took off heading down 44th Street towards 7th Avenue. The victim was taken to Bellevue Hospital in stable condition.
Well, tonight, 2 kids facing charges after they stole a car from an auto body shop in West Baltimore.
Yeah, police tell us that they took it on a joyride. They hit multiple cars before they crashed in Baltimore County. WMAR2 News' Ray Strickland spoke with a woman the 2 kids hit, and he joins us live tonight from Baltimore Police Headquarters. Ray.
Yeah, Jamie, when Marcy Yankelov was hit by the car, her first reaction was anger, but when she found out who was behind the wheel, it turned into empathy.
Oh, God, please do not feel any empathy for these super gremlins, bro. I'm telling you, they will dome you on the spot. They would have killed over that vehicle and then dumped it 5 minutes later. This is what type of demon time these individuals are on.
Question is why 12 and 13-year-old boys are stealing a car in the first place.
It didn't look like it was stopping. It didn't look like it was stopping, and then it didn't stop.
Marcy Yankelov's car says it all. These pictures show the damage of when 12 and 13-year-old boys driving a stolen car hit her at a West Baltimore intersection.
And then
12 and 13-year-old boys. Let me repeat. 12 and 13-year-old boys. Sisters, come get your kids.
Then I saw it back up. I thought it was backing up to stop and see if I was okay. And it backed up, hit another car backing up, and then just sped off.
The crash happened on West Franklin Street in North Calhoun around 11 o'clock in the morning Thursday. The impact of the crash knocked off the stolen car's fender.
I think the thing that's worse about it is that someone could cause harm and just keep going.
But the kids' joyride came to an end a few miles outside of the city in Arbutus, where they crashed. The 2 were then taken into custody.
And if they would have killed that woman in that wreck, they wouldn't have stopped either, just to let you guys know.
Now, we've since learned the kids stole the car from this auto body shop in the 100 block of South Warwick Avenue in Baltimore. Police say one of the kids broke the car's window and started to drive away while the other kid opened the gate. I spoke to the owner of the shop over the phone, and he says it was the first time something like this happened in his 30 years of doing business.
You know, there's something really serious going on there that needs to be addressed.
Yankelov says at first she was angry about the crash until she learned who was in the car. Now she has empathy for the kids and hopes they get the help they need.
I think the system is somehow failing. It's failing these communities.
Well, I mean, mainly it's the parents. And the reason the system's failing because when these super gremlins do these types of things, they let them go the next day. Because they're minors, right? So there's got to be some type of reprimand that is effective for these young super gremlins whose parents pretty much don't give a damn what they doing during the daytime. They drop them off at school and don't care what happened until they come back home later that night.
It's failing to provide resources to these communities.
And police say after the crash, the kids were taken to the hospital to be evaluated. It seems they're going to be okay, but police say they will be facing auto theft charges. Reporting live tonight in Baltimore, Ray Strickland, WMAR2 News.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, guys, so we do have the official 911 call that Ortencia Alcantara made in regards to the passing away of Kevin Samuels. And like I said originally, I think that she acted heroically in her efforts to try and save Kevin Samuels' life. You know, I think that this had to be a very traumatic situation for this woman. And I can only imagine what type of pain that she's going through, realizing that, you know, one day she was with this man and they were in a intimate romantic relationship, and then the next day he's just, you know, gone, man. And the black community has been impacted heavily. We got sisters online tarnishing his name, but you got other people putting respect on his name. And I think by the sounds of this phone call, you can tell that Miss Alcantara really respected Kevin. So let's get into it.
My apartment. Oh my God, I don't fucking know. You don't know if it's a house or apartment? Oh, it's an apartment. Okay, what's the apartment number?
So you can tell that it is a sister on the other side of the phone. And I'm not saying that she didn't act with urgency. This is probably how they're trained. But you can definitely hear little disdain in her voice. I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying she could have done anything quicker to help save Kevin, but just listen, guys.
I know. I just need to give him CPR. Just please, just ask the front
You need an ambulance?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you listening?
Hold on, ma'am. I have to connect you with the ambulance.
It's
Ambulance. Guys, how do you spell ambulance? Please.
Kevin fucking Samuel.
I
please.
understand, but I have to connect you with the ambulance.
Are you okay?
Yeah, miss, what's the address of your emergency? Is he awake?
No, he has an irregular rhythm. I can feel it. He's breathing in and out, but he has an irregular rhythm.
So you can tell that this woman is very frantic. All right, this is, in my opinion, an authentic reaction to finding out that, you know, somebody you've been intimate with has passed.
It's probably his heart. So I need you to get here with the fucking...
And man, I'm
Stop
going
him.
home, man.
Come on, Kevin, you got it. Oh, come on, just try to breathe. Come on, you got it. Come on, take a...
She's trying to coach him through it. You know, I think after hearing this 911 call effectively, I definitely believe that she acted heroically in her efforts to save Kevin Samuel's life, man. And it's just a tragedy that the brother went in the way that he did.
Think about your mom. Think about your daughter. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1,
I'm sorry.
2, 3, 4.
I need to call the front desk to get an AED. He's not going to make it.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1. But man, I don't want you to disconnect because something can happen while you disconnect now.
I understand, but I'm saying I need an AED. I need, if they have one downstairs, I need to get them up here now.
Are you able to get your neighbor, ma'am? Real
I'm
quick,
going to
and
hang
ask
up
them
with
to help
you.
you?
I hang up with you, or you call them in the front desk to give me a fucking AED right here now. He's turning blue. I cannot wait any longer.
My apartment.
Yeah, I mean, I think she went harder than some of these sisters go when, you know, they get your order wrong at a restaurant. So it just sucks, man, that it went down like this, man. R.I.P. to Kevin Samuels. Shout out to Ortencia Alcantara. She definitely acted heroically, and, you know, she will forever go down in history as the queen of the Manosphere.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.